Welcome. Boy, do we have an exciting topic for you today. Today we're delving into the topic of market analysis and marketing. But before we get started, we have some exciting announcement to share with you. Malova Consulting has just launched its online investment readiness accelerator program. This is an 8-week program with funding opportunities, and at the end of the program, you get an opportunity to pitch into a room full of investors at our demo day. We're rolling on a first come, first served basis. So scan the QR code currently displayed on your screen. It will take you to the channels where you can get more information about the program. However, if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with us. Sign up today and don't miss out on this great opportunity. Fantastic. On to today's topic. As mentioned, today we're talking about market analysis and marketing. What you can expect from this session is we're going to do a quick recap on design thinking and product market fit. If you haven't watched our videos on design thinking, we encourage you to do so now. We actually have a few videos on design thinking and product market fit. Click in the link in the description below. Then we're going to talk about market analysis, and then we move on to marketing and of sales. A quick recap on design thinking. Design thinking is a human-centered approach that we use to analyze ideas, to validate assumptions, and to come up with innovative solutions to problems. It has 5 stages, namely empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Please note that this is not a linear process, meaning you can start from any stage. However, for the sake of this presentation, we would like to zoom in on empathize because this is the stage where you get to engage with potential users, with potential customers, your target users, and gain insight about them, about the market that you're trying to enter into and to capture. So this is relevant because today we're talking about market analysis and marketing. So knowing how to do customer discovery and gaining empathy from your customer base is very important. And then once you have validated your ideas, this design thinking process helps you to determine whether you have product market fit. Product market fit is a measure of determining whether there's demand about the product on the market, whether you have what it takes to build the product or the service, and then if there is financial viability. If you want to learn more about this, again, watch our videos on design thinking. Let's get started with market analysis. What is market analysis? Market analysis is a detailed assessment of your business target market and the competitive landscape within a specific industry. This analysis lets you project the success you can expect when you introduce your brand and its products to consumers within the market, right? It also includes quantitative data such as the actual size of the market you want to serve, prices consumers are willing to pay, revenue projections, and qualitative data such as consumers' values, desires, and buying motives. All of these are very important. However, what is a market to begin with, or a marketplace? It's a combination of players, procedures, systems that allow for the exchange of goods or services. And please note, when we're talking about players in this instance, we're talking about organizations and individuals. So the market analysis, therefore, becomes an assessment of the element that you've just mentioned. And it's important because in terms of product market fit, it helps you determine the desirability of your product or the service that you're trying to introduce to the market. It's also an upside for investors in terms of identifying potential for growth and potential within any given market. There are 6 steps that one usually follows to kind of do a proper market analysis. The first step is market research. The second step is competitive analysis. Third step is identify market gaps. Then the fourth step is define your target market, followed by identifying barriers to entry. And the last step is create a sales forecast. So after you've gone through these 6 steps, you should be able to have a very good understanding about your target market, about the risk and the barriers to entries and the potential of the market itself in terms of customer base, in terms of the demand of your product, of the product that you're offering or your services. Let's get started with the first step, which is market research. Market research is basically answering the question, who is my target market, right? Who is the most important group or groups of people we need to connect with and convince to choose us over others? What unmet needs do they have that makes our product or service valuable to them? So answering these questions is what's going to help us, learn more about the market, do the research on the market. So why should you care about target market? Because you should care, because targeting specific customers does not mean that you are excluding other people who fit don't fit a given customer segment criteria. It allows you to focus your brand positioning and marketing strategy on specific types of customers who are most likely to buy from you. What do we mean by this? You're looking at things like demographics and psychographics. By demographics, we're referring to things such as age, location, gender, income level, education level, etc. And by psychographics, we're referring to personalities, attitude, values, interests, lifestyle, etc. And so once you have that information, it allows you to do what is known as customer segmentation. So think of your current or intended customers. Consider the characteristic that set them apart from everyone else on the planet and one another, right? As I've mentioned earlier on, demographics and psychographics. Grouping to group together customers that share certain characteristics and point of view per your customer discovery, empathize in the design thinking process. And as you start grouping them, it becomes easier for you to create what is known as a persona. You can easily say that our target user is a male or a female, maybe it's Caucasian or black or Indian between the age of 20 to 35. She's a young working professional, or he's a young working professional, etc. You can create a persona and give them a fictitious name, right? A random name. It would be Tom, it would be Jane, right? And then you give them a quick description in terms of their demographics and psychographics, right? And this is important. If you watch our design thinking video, we talk about creating a problem statement or a user point of view, and in terms of user description, customer needs, and insight. And so once you've gathered all this insight or this data about your target market, it's a good idea to always break it down in terms of chunks of markets that you're going to conquer, almost like divide and conquer in chunks and bits that you can manage. So what do I mean by that? You obviously have a total available market or total addressable market, which is the total market for your product or your service. But out of this total market, you have what is known as serviceable addressable market, or SAM for short. This is the total market you are able and willing to capture given your specific product, service, business model, sales, and distribution channels. However, out of this serviceable obtainable market, you say to yourself, realistically, what I can capture is this. So that is the serviceable obtainable market. It's the part of the serviceable addressable market you are realistically able to capture given your limitations. And usually this is expressed in terms of monetary value. So you would say, for instance, this market, it's worth 100 billion, it's worth 50 million, it's worth 500K, etc. And how do you work that out? You take the number of customers, times it by the annual revenue per customer, and it gives you an idea of the market size. In other words, you take the number of customers, times it by the number of units per buyer per year, times it by the price. It gives you the market size. And this is a very important size to include in your investor pitch deck. Let's talk about competition. So competition really takes you, the steps of competition takes you from broad industry insights, as you've just now gathered from your market research, to looking specifically at brands you'll be competing against as you seek to attract potential customers in your target market. Mind you, these target users already have a solution to the problem that you have identified and you're attempting to solve in an innovative ways. There's some things that they are already doing that's sort of working for them. That's competition. Or there are analog products or services like yours, that the ones you are offering out there that people are accustomed to. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to change their minds about where they're purchasing their products, where they're getting those services from, and you want to attract them to you. And basically, you want them to abandon the current solutions that they're using and come and use what you are proposing. So you need to investigate the competitive landscape, right? Basically, finding out what brands are the most well known in your industry, who sets the trend and captures the attention of customers, what are these brands offering, what are their price points and value propositions, what sales tactics and technologies and platforms that they're using, and then what can you learn from the customer reviews about these brands. You need to be at a point where you understand your competitors very well. It's not enough to just identifying them. You need to understand them, the modus operandi. Understand that very well. It will help you to strategically position yourself to become the better brand or the better product or the better service that everybody wants over your competitors. And what helps you to do that is to be aware of your own SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So the strengths, we're talking about internal characteristics of the company that give it an advantage over others. By weakness, we're referring to internal characteristics that put the company at a disadvantage relative to others. Then opportunities is about external factors that the company can capitalize on to improve its performance. Then threat, it's about external factors that have the potential to harm the company's performance. So once you're done with the competitive analysis, now you want to identify market gaps. How do you identify market gaps? With the insights that you have into how competing brands fare, you can find market gaps, differentiate your product and services, and stand out within your industry. Market gaps are needs that are currently not being filled by existing brands. For example, in the online education industry, learners might be interested in topics that existing courses do not cover, in which case you could develop a course that fills this gap. And so that's a hole in the wall, if you want. So, looking back at your industry research findings, what will the external factors like social change and new laws mean for developing new products and services? Ask consumers directly. What do you want or need that you currently can't find? How specifically do competitors' products or and services fall short? In what ways would you be able to create better products and services given your strengths and expertise? And so once you have those answers, you become ready to define your market. So now you know your industry, the competitive landscape, and the market gaps that you can fill. The next things to do is to get specific about the kinds of customers you want to serve. Define your target market according to the characteristics that make individual consumers more likely to purchase products and services from you. Of the potential customers in your industry, which specific market segment can you target effectively? How can you describe this segment according to their demographics, as we've mentioned earlier on age, ethnicity, income, etc., and their psychographics, beliefs, values, etc.? What are their daily lives like? What problems and challenges do they experience? Again, going back to the design thinking process, this step is what is known as empathize. It's about living in the world of your target users, your target consumers, and really understanding the world in which they live by living the way they live and seeing the world through the lenses. It's only then that you'll be able to really identify, to identify market gaps. And once you've done that, it gets down to even finding words and phrases that people use to describe what their daily life is about. And once you're done with that, you can then move on to the next step, which is identifying barriers to entry, to entering the markets that you've identified, that you're trying to capture. There are obstacles out there. What are these obstacles? So As you're getting to know your target market and tailoring your offers and messaging to consumers, it's important to have a clear sense of factors that might prevent you from entering your market successfully. That way, you can devise a strategy to address these challenges. These barriers will be things like startup costs to building your business, legal requirements that you need to fulfill before launching, political, economic, even social factors that might affect consumers' behaviors and their likelihood of purchasing your offering. And how much do your top competitors spend on their advertising to earn customers' loyalty? What will you need to do to present your offerings as better alternatives in terms of value, price, and ease of purchase? These are all questions that you need to ask yourself to be able to overcome these hurdles that you would encounter while trying to enter a new market specifically. So once you're done with that, you move on to the last step of this market analysis, which is creating sales forecast. What is sales forecast? Sales forecasting is basically the process of estimating future sales so that you can make confident business decisions or secure funding from investors and lenders. You may find it useful to create forecasts for specific increments of time, such as the next 3 months, the next 6 months, or the next 12 months, the next 2 years, etc. And it's about answering the following questions. What products and services do you intend to sell? How many units do you expect to sell during each increment of time based on your market size and the behaviors of your customers? What prices will you assign to each product or service? What is the cost of producing and advertising each offering? So the way you calculate it, it's going to be units of sales, units to sale times price for each unit minus cost per unit times the number of units. Then you have your sales forecast in marketing. With marketing, basically we're referring to activities a company undertakes to promote the buying or selling of a product or service. It also includes advertising, selling, delivering product to consumers or other businesses. A marketing strategy is essentially how you're going to let people know about your company and turn them into customers, right? This includes who you are going to target with your message, what you're going to tell them about your company, product, or service, and how you're going to reach them, the channels. By creating a strategy to accomplish the above, you will have a well thought out plan that makes the best use of your time and resources. There are things known as the marketing mix, also known as the 7Ps. So these are product, place, price, promotion, physical evidence, people, and process. The product, the place where people can find you, the price, the positioning, the payment channels, promotions, where can your customers find you, marketing communications, branding, physical evidence, people, anyone who interacts with your customers. It could be your sales agents, your customer support, the process. How do you deliver your product or you render your service to your customer? Things like that needs to be very clear. In fact, all these 7Ps need to be very clear to you and to your customer. All right, that's it on marketing. Let's move on to sales. Here, we're just gonna briefly discuss two techniques of sales, right? But let's start by defining what is a sales strategy. It's a plan for positioning and selling your product or service to your target market in a way that differentiates you from your competitors. They provide clear objectives and guidance to your sales team and enables them to sell your offering successfully at scale. Developing a sales strategy entails segmenting your target market, understanding what your unique selling point is to each segment, developing your pitch to a specific segment, and delivering that pitch to them via the preferred channels. And finally, approaching sales prospects, meaning potential customers, in the perfect manner. There are two types of sales strategy, namely inbound sales strategy and outbound sales strategy. By inbound sales strategy, it's about attracting sales prospects to your place, going back to the marketing mix, when they already have an idea of who you are and what you sell. Potential customers are likely to be actively looking for solutions to a problem they're facing, and you can attract them to you through inbound marketing strategies, meaning a website, search engine optimizer, again, promotion. Then you have outbound sales strategy. This is when you know who your target customers are. You can reach out directly to them through promotion and people. That's it for today, folks. I hope this session was insightful. And as always, feel free to get in touch with us. Scan the QR code today to learn more about the services that we provide startups and how you can benefit from them. And don't forget, we have launched our online investment accelerator program with opportunities for funding. It's rolling on a first come, first serve basis. Scan the QR code on the screen today and get in touch with us. Thank you.